My current routine. Hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchett with Theology, Geek, Fitness, and it has been a long time since I've actually done a PowerPoint presentation for this channel, so I figured that I would utilize that format to go over my current routine. This is for when I'm in town, either at the home or at the office. One of the beauties of collecting home gym equipment over the past 3 years and not relying on a gym, and with the help of finding things on either bargain bin discount or on flash sales, and with the help of the patrons, you can get a good setup. So I have stuff here at the house, or here at the office. I have stuff at the house, and then I also have my travel stuff. And I've done videos going over what equipment I have at home, what equipment I have here at the gym, and what equipment I keep in my car for when I'm traveling. If I'm not flying, when I'm flying, I just take a suspension trainer and resistance bands. But if I'm driving, I have a little bit more than that I take with me. But when I'm in town, this is my current routine, whether I'm at home or at the office, and wherever I'm at depends on what equipment I'm using. So I always start off Mondays with my pull day, and I do 3 supersets, 8 to 12 reps. If I'm here at the office, I have my Vever pull-up bar that breaks down. I've done a review on that, and you can see it in the office tour broken down. I do pull-ups, and then I superset that with shrugs, and I usually take a minute to a minute and a half between, so I'll do the pull-ups and take a break, and then do the shrugs, and then take a break, and then go back to the pull-ups. And so I'll do 3 sets of that superset, and then I follow that up with rows and superset that with rear delt flies. And I'll lean the Vever over if I'm here at the office and do the rows that way, and then I'll just use the 10-pound grip plates and do some rear delt flies. Here at the office, if I'm at home, I'll usually do rows off of either a suspension trainer or the sling trainer dangling from my pull-up bar in my backyard, or if I'm using the bars, grips, rings inside, or whatever, just find a way to do some rows. Or I have my ProSource Fit parallel bars. You can use those. It's just whatever to do rows. And then I usually, if I'm at the house, I'll either use the 10-pound, 10 to 15-pound filler bags in the 2XSR sandbag, or I'll use the 12-pound hydro balls for that if I'm at home. And then I'll do pullovers, either with a dumbbell or with a a filler bag or whatever. Sometimes I'll do a straight arm press down with a resistance band, depending on my mood. But usually it's kind of pullover, and then I'll superset that with biceps curls, which if I'm here at the office, I'll use my adjustables. If I'm at home, I will use either the 25-pound hydro balls, or I'll use the 25-pound filler bags from the 2XSR, just whatever. I just change up. So that's my pull day. Just 3 supersets, 6 exercises, and that's pretty much good for me. And then, of course, I try to progress those as I go. Various different ways, either add weight or slow down my rep cadence or whatever, and try to track all that best I can. Then Tuesday is push day, and again I do 3 supersets, 8 to 12 reps per set, same break intervals, but I'll start off with my dips. Here at the office, I'll use the Vever thing. At home, I've been using either rings or the sling trainer. I'm trying to use rings more, and then I'll follow that by an overhead press. If I'm here in the office, I will usually do that seated with my adjustables. If I'm at home, I'll use my hydro balls or my Storm 60 or my sandbag, whatever. Just grab something heavy and do an overhead press. And then my next superset is push-ups, and I superset that with tricep extensions. And so push-ups, I do those weighted, just like I do my dips weighted. And I do the tricep extensions. Here I'll just use the that Vever bar and do it that way. You know, it's body weight exercise. Or if I'm at home, I'll use a sling trainer or a suspension trainer or something like that to do the triceps extensions. And sometimes I'll use those for the push-ups. Well, you know, just stand up, get position and do the triceps extensions. And then I will do chest flies. And here at the office, I use my bench with the adjustable dumbbells. If I'm at the house, I'll just get on my plyo box and use my either hydro balls, or I'll use my the 25-pound hydro balls, or I'll use the filler bags. And so I'll do the chest flies, and then I'll superset that with lateral raises. Here at the office, I just do the lateral raises with the grip plates. Or if I'm at home, I'll use either the 12-pound hydro balls, or I'll use the 10-pound filler bags from the 2X SR. And so that's my push day workout. Wednesdays is leg days, and I do 4 supersets of each exercise, 8 to 12 reps per set. Here at the office, I'll do squats with the weighted Easy Vest Pro and holding my adjustables. I do that so that I don't have to just pile on the weight plates on the Easy Vest Pro and try to finagle getting around with that on and off. But I'll superset that with calf raises, and I don't really take a rest between the squats and the calf raises. As soon as I finish my squats, I start doing the calf raises, just standing there. So that's the first superset, do 4 of those. Then I follow that up doing swings, where I use the grip plates and my Kinsui 360 grips. They used to be called swivel. I keep wanting to call them swivel, but he changed the Kinsui guy, Remy Mock or whatever his name is. He changed the name of them, but that's his business, his company. And then I follow that by doing hip thrusts off of the weight bench. And then the next superset, and I do my normal, minute to minute and a half rest between those exercises during the superset. And then I do the leg extensions superset with hamstring curls, and I get the bench out for that, and I'm using the anchor when I'm here at the office. If I'm at home, I use resistance bands for this, because I don't have any sort of equivalent way to do that with anything else other than bands at the house, because here at the office I do that with those anchor, and I keep also use the Anchor Max, but I also use the Anchor Pro here at the office to do tib raises stuff. I just throw that stuff in extra. I don't really count that as like part of my routine, and I don't have weight plates at the house, so I don't take those home to use them as like an alternative for the house. So if I'm at home, I do the leg extensions and hamstring curls with resistance bands. And then, of course, on leg day, whether I'm at the office or at the home, I do my standing crunches with the resistance bands, and I do the core rotation with the resistance band, 30 reps for the crunches, 30 reps for the core rotation, both left and right. Sometimes I do like wood choppers if I'm at the house and I just want to anchor it off the pull-up bar instead of my side bar, but usually I just pick one. It doesn't really matter. Just get some sort of rotational movement in there on my lower body day. So that's my push-pull legs, or it's actually pull-push legs the way I do it. And again, these are using the weighted stuff. If I'm at home, I have my 2XSR training vest. If I'm here, I have the Kinsui Easy Vest Pro. Here I have my adjustables and weight plates. At home, I either have my sandbag and the filler bags, or I have my hydro balls and my Storm 60, just whatever I feel like grabbing at the time. It doesn't really matter. It's all basically the same, though, except for if I'm at home on my first lower body day, leg day, I do resistance bands for the extensions and the hamstring curls. So that's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday, I go back to an upper body day, and I do, actually, that should be 4 supersets. It's never a Jonathan Pritchett PowerPoint without a typo, but that should be 4 supersets. And this is where I use the T2 ISO trainer. And so first I do pull-ups, and then I go into isokinetic lat pull-downs, okay? If you don't know what that is, if this is your first time watching the channel, go search this channel for all the T2 videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about that. And so I'll do the pull-ups, and then I'll go straight into the isokinetic pull-downs. So it's really, that's the left-right thing, and that's and I usually have the bungee on there, and so that's that usually is 3 supersets, but that's basically 2 sets rolled into one, because after I do a set of pull-ups, I go straight into the isokinetics. And same thing, because I superset that with the chest press, and then I go into the isokinetic chest press. So that's it's really, instead of doing 8 to 12 reps, it's really 16 to 24 reps, right? Because I do it normally with the T2 iso trainer, then I go straight into the isokinetics. And then the next superset is I do rows, and then I go into the isokinetic rows with the T2 iso trainer bungee. It's really, I think they call it isoelastic when you're doing the isokinetics with the bungee attached, whatever. They've got clever names for all that stuff, but that's basically, I do rows with the bungee, and then it was kind of like resistance band training, and then I go straight, keep tension on the bungee, and go into the isokinetics, and I superset that with chest flies, and then I go into the isokinetic chest flies. And sometimes I'll switch that up and do rows, and then I'll go into the reverse grip flies, or sometimes I'll swap out the rows and I'll do the straight arm push down and superset that with the reverse grip fly or the chest flies. You know, throw them in every now and then, but usually the rows and the chest flies, but sometimes it's the reverse grip, or it's the straight arm press down into the push down into the reverse grip flies. So one of those, you know, just depending on my mood. Then my third superset is I do the overhead press into the isokinetic version of that, and then I superset that with face pulls into isokinetics. And then finally I close out this T2 day, still getting my pull-ups on the pull-up bar though, but you can do like lat pull downs with the bungee and then go into the isokinetics, but I just do pull-ups because I'm trying to keep up my pull-ups. And then finally I do bicep curls into the isokinetic bicep curls, and I superset that with tricep extensions, kind of overhead, and superset that with the going straight into the isokinetic version of the triceps. So bicep curls on the bungee, and then I start doing the isokinetics as soon as I'm done with the set to burn it out, and then I do the triceps and then do the isokinetic version of that. So that's upper body day with the T2 iso trainer. And then lower body day is back to 4 supersets, and I add the weighted vest for this, and I'll do squats, or lately I've been doing sissy squats, and then I'll go into calf raises, so superset those together. And then the next exercise is the hamstring curls, which I don't use the bungee for that. It's just like a normal suspension trainer style hamstring curls, and then I go into the isokinetic, another typo there, isokinetic version of the hamstring curls, and I superset that with doing glute bridges. And sometimes I'll just grab the weight vest that I had on and just, you know, throw it in my lap while I'm doing the glute bridges, just for extra resistance. And that's it, just those 2 supersets, and then I go into the crunches again, 30 reps with the resistance band, and then the core rotation, 30 reps left and right with the resistance band. And so that's my lower body day with the T2 iso trainer. So when you add up the 2 lower body days, you've got 4 sets of squats on each day, so that's 8 sets of squats, and then you have 4 sets of the leg extensions as well, and then you add, so you basically have 12 sets that you're hitting your quads for that week, which puts you in the 10 to 20 range. And then I have the hamstring curls with the anchor, and then I have the swings, so that's 8 sets that I'm, you know, hitting your posterior chain, hamstrings, you know, and getting some hip extension in there. And then I have the hamstring curls with either the band or the anchor or whatever. And then I have the hamstring curls here. So I'm getting 12 sets there, which is fine. And so that's about all I need before my legs are just smoked anyway. So this is also with the T2 ISO trainer. And then I have, if I feel like it, I don't always feel like it, but, you know, this is 5 days, but if I want to work out, throw in 2 extra days, I'll throw in a bonus upper body day where I'll try to do 3 sets, and I'll do just either pull-ups or chin-ups, and then I'll do dips, and then I'll do rows, and then I'll do push-ups, and then I'll do 3 sets of overhead press, and just with whatever's handy. But because my shoulders, I like to, you know, on the bonus day, I like to use a resistance band for that, because sometimes, you know, you want to go easier on your joints when you're my age. So usually on my bonus day, after adding in some more pull-ups or chin-ups and dips and rows and push-ups, I'm just ready. I just do overhead press with a band, or I'll do what's called an X raise. With a light band where you go straight out like that. So that's my bonus upper body day. Just trying to get in more pull-ups and dips and stuff like that. And then my bonus lower body day, I'll do the resistance band. I really started to get into these Spanish squats with the resistance band because they're just phenomenal exercise, and it'll really light your quads up. Probably the best squat version that you can do with resistance bands. And if you want to, you can grab something like a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something, or put on a weight vest while you do it, because since Spanish squats, you anchor it to something and put each end of the band behind your knees, and do squats like that, and it's just a phenomenal thing. And then I like to do those single leg squats, one of my favorite resistance band leg exercises to work your hamstrings if you're going kind of up and back at an angle. And then I'll do a glute bridge with a band. And then I'll throw in some like hip abductors or side steps, you know, with one of the mini bands, and I'm trying to use those more, and I really like them. Trying to shore up some of those. And sometimes when I don't feel like doing all the rest of that, I'll still do the hip abduction and side steps, just to throw it in there. Because I mean, I have those kind of hip bands either here at the office or at home. So get them in there when you can, even if you don't feel like doing the rest of it, because you just want to take 2 days and not train anything. I like to do something every day because I can. And if I feel like I don't need the rest and I want to get in all these, I'll throw in the bonus days. So that's basically what I'm doing, whether I'm at home or at the office. Now, if I'm traveling, I want to go over my travel routine. I've done a video in the past of my travel gear. I've added stuff since. I've added the light version of the Easy Vest, and then I got their little hydro plates and stuff. I just haven't really broken those out a whole lot. So I'm not going to include adding that in here. I need to use them more. But I haven't actually been traveling as much. I have had to go out of town for a lot of family stuff here lately. And so basically I've just been sticking with these things because it's just quicker. With the hydro plates, I've used them some, but they take a little while to fill up and stuff. And I haven't been staying at my own hotel, and I don't want to just leave my crap all over the place. So I haven't been using that stuff as much. So this is basically what I've been doing, and I'm probably going to change once I start using the Kinsui light Easy Vest light and the hydro plates more. But as it stands, this is what I'm doing when I'm traveling. So my travel routine, I just split it between upper and lower days. I don't worry about sticking to my, you know, normal stuff that I do while I'm here in town, whether at home or at the office. So my upper body day when I'm traveling, I do 3 supersets. I'll break out the cross grips, and I'll do pull-ups, and I'll superset those with push-ups, and I'll just grab a resistance band and just do it like that instead of finagling with the Easy Vest light and hydro plates. And then I'll do rows, which I leave the cross grips up, and then I'll use the sling trainer and do dips off of that. And the rows off of that and the dips off of that. So I'll just do rows and I'll superset that with dips. And then I'll do resistance band overhead press, and I'll superset that with shrugs with resistance bands. And then I'll close out with some bicep curls using resistance bands. I'll superset that with tricep pushdowns. So that's what I do for upper body day, and I alternate that between that and the lower body day, which I do 4 supersets. And I've started, again, doing Spanish squats with the resistance bands, and I'll superset that with calf raises. And then I'll do my single leg squat with resistance bands, superset that with glute bridge. And then I'll do a single leg extension with resistance bands, because there's no way to do good leg extensions and get decent attention doing it with 2 legs and weird things. I think Athlete X, Jeff Cavalier, tried to do one weird way of doing it. I was like, nah, this doesn't really work that great. So I do single leg left to right with resistance bands. I superset that with hamstring curls, which you can just get done with 1 band. And if I'm bored, I'll throw in the standing crunches and the core rotation like before. But that's basically what I do, and depending on how many days I'm gone, I just go back and forth between that. And if I get home before the end of the week, I don't go back to my normal routine. I finish out my week even if I'm home in less than a week. Say I ended on an upper body day, and then I travel for a day, and I'll come home before the week's over. I'll just throw in the lower body day just with, you know, the gear at the house, but I won't go back to anything else. I'll just use resistance bands or whatever. And so it's kind of like, I don't want to say it because it sounds like I'm knocking bands, like you can't get a full thing. But it's almost like a deload week for me. So I usually, when I'm traveling or whatever, unless I'm just bored to tears, I'll usually only do 1 upper, 1 lower, twice, you know, if I'm gone for like 4 days. But if I'm only gone for half a week or something, I just finish that week out, and it's almost kind of like a deload, I guess. Resistance bands are a lot easier on your body than doing like a lot of weighted calisthenics, so I don't mind. So I just alternate between upper body, lower body on weeks that I'm traveling. So there you go. That's my current routine. If you want to see full workout videos of this getting done, you can go become a patron. And follow along with those. I'm going to be uploading a whole bunch of these routines shot from whether I'm at home or at the office or whatever. I got all that coming soon. There's bonus content there. You go to patreon.com/Theology Geek Fitness if you want the full videos of my entire workouts and watching me gasp for breath and see my form go to trash by the 3rd or 4th set. Whatever. Don't care. I'm just trying to make my way in the world, staying as fit as I can at 46. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know if this is the greatest workout routine program. It works for me. Will it work for you? I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't know what works for you. But I can get these kind of things done in 45 minutes, and I can smoke my muscles and still progress at least every month or so, get better at it, whether I'm increasing weight or getting better form consistently throughout all of the sets, or I'm slowing down the rep tempo or whatever. I find a way to progress overload in various different ways. So I commend this to you because it's worked for me, or at least give you some ideas, whatever. If you don't think it's all that interesting, or you think it's a terrible routine, why are you doing shrugs and face pulls? Oh, because, you know, I want better traps. That's why. I already have abs, but boys have abs, men have traps. That's what I read on a meme somewhere. I don't care. But anyway, I just like to work my rear delts, and I like to work my traps. I just like it. But I get it, like, why only so few biceps and tricep exercises? You know, if you don't add the bonus day, which doesn't have any that anyway. Well, I've gotten better at activating my biceps for pull exercises, and gotten better at activating my triceps for push exercises. And so by the time I'm doing my 3 sets of biceps curls and triceps exercises, extensions, they're fried. I mean, I've just gotten better at activating, so I don't really need as much. So that's why I only do that, twice a week, and don't even really bother with them on the others. Could it be better? Sure. I just don't feel like I need it. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is all subject to change. I might change tomorrow, the day after this video comes out. But this is what I'm doing now. And so I don't know, maybe give you some ideas of how you can do it. Like I said, I can get this between 45 and 50 minutes and I'm done. So I like that. That's why I like the supersets. So there you go. I hope you liked the video. If you did, click the like button. If you didn't like the video, click the dislike button. Don't care either way. It's entirely up to you. If you want to support what we're doing, you can subscribe to the channel, which I need more subscribers. And a lot of you watch these videos, you don't subscribe. So subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. And you can become a patron at patreon.com, like I mentioned before, /Theology Geek Fitness, and do that. All that money gets reinvested back into the channel so I can keep on going and keep on getting new products and reviewing them and giving them away to patrons periodically. So I appreciate you watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.